Hey guys, welcome to the MC Anime Podcast. We cover anime, geek culture, Japanese aesthetics, and Asian studies. We are a multi-fandom podcast, and you can expect to hear topics in your favorite hobby or fandom activity potentially. You can find MC Anime on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, please check out mcanimepodcast.com, our website. Furthermore, stay tuned in for another episode.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of MC Anime. MC here, and I have a fellow special guest with me today, Sue. How you doing today, Sue?
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Still fine. Yeah.
So tell them a little bit about yourself, what you do, and overall, what you like to do in general.
I'm still I'm just doing my college stuff since I'm still at school.
Oh, okay.
Nothing much about that since I can't really do anything since it's still prohibited in here to go outside much. So yeah, I'm stuck in my house.
Gotcha. All right. So, further ado, you got any relevant social media that you want to share for shout outs or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't have anything to say.
Gotcha. All right. So this particular episode of MC Anime is Two's testimony about the Philippines and their anime reviews and the trends of anime in the Philippines. So, further ado, Asian studies, the Philippines testimony, and anime. So, what is it like in the Philippines? What's it like in the Philippines?
What is it like
Yeah.
in the Philippines? Bro, I just put out the disclaimer for all those Filipinos that may stumble on MC Anime's podcast.
Yeah.
Please don't be mad at me. Okay, this is just all my personal opinion and how I made those opinions when I grew up or since I was a child. So, yeah.
Okay. So, what's
as a native Filipino resident,
Oh, okay.
you can really see that it's hard living here. Like, our culture has been developed into our main cultures for our communications. It's like be hospitable to other people, right? Just in the outside for other people to see us. But when living in the Philippines, you you are trained since you're a kid to do your best in school so that when you grow up, you get a job, you get a family, and give back to your parents like that. It might sound the same as how to start a family for everyone in the world, but yeah, it's just in here. It's really deep in the core. Like some people living still here, they still have their family gathered together, not outside of the town that they're currently living in. But there's like they gathered in in the same town. Like, how do you call that sort of living? Just explain to us. But yeah, that's how I view that's how what I think when I heard that question. What it's like to be in the Philippines.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. What's the culture like? Like, music, um, traditions, festivals, religion, if that's possible, stuff like that.
Mm, yeah, I think it may be labeled as a fake Filipino or
Mm-hmm.
because me myself doesn't really know much of the Filipino culture since most of the time when I was still at school, I always look at English, American cultures through books, English books. Since I was interested in English that time more than the excuse me, more than the Filipino cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a book that it's English, I would like skim through the whole book, looking at the pictures and reading small stuff. But I do less on that than Filipino. I only do it in if I'm required to do in school.
Okay.
So, but yeah. So,
all right.
Filipino culture, some of it, not all of it. Some really, in music side, they really, I think they adopt a bit of, I think, what was that, yeah, I think they adapted how in, Spanish time, creation of, love letters and that, love letters and, love songs.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, that's what I see in the music side of the Philippines. They create that genre of music that's really popular in the Philippines.
Okay. So, what do you think of the Spanish influence in the Philippines? Where can you find it, and where does it look like?
The way, can you repeat that question?
Okay, so the Spanish tradition is synonymous with Filipino history. Where can you find that Spanish tradition, and what does it look like?
Well, we're not, at the time when Spanish was still, in here in the Philippines, still colonizing Philippines. There were a lot really, but I don't know how. I don't quite know how to acknowledge them.
Mm-hmm.
Since the time that sorry for any Filipino listener out there. Since that time that we got independent, we achieved independence. Yeah, we still have the Spanish tradition in our Filipino culture, like like in here, Philippines has like three parts.
Mm-hmm.
Three parts. Now the upper part, which is the Luzon, the second part, Visayas, and the third part, which is Mindanao. In Mindanao, where I live, we have like, Philippines has two language, English and Tagalog. But in the lower part where Visayas and Mindanao, they have like their own, they have a lot of dialects. They have a lot of dialects existed in each part of Visayas and Mindanao. In which, in this part of Mindanao, where I live, there's this one dialect called Cebuano, which composes of, now, well, some of it are composed of borrowed words from Spanish. And like how we said, how we call the money, some colors. Yeah, we borrowed it from Spanish. Like, what was that? What was the word again? Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
What, dinero? El dinero? Or
yeah,
los coles?
And
los coles?
We also said that, for one, we call one as uno sometimes, dos as two, tres as three, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And also in our name, we also have Spanish names with I don't know how it came. I don't know how it attached to our names, but yeah, my name is like my real name. As my surname of my real name, it sounds like Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There are a lot of Spanish culture influences that mixed up in Philippine culture.
Oh, okay. So the name I go by is Sue. What is your surname, if you want to say it?
I don't really want to say it because they're gonna.
Well, say it in the way that you know how to say it. So. Say it in the way that you know how to say it. Do you know your surname?
Yeah, it just it has different pronunciations, like how you pronounce Stephen. There's how you spell it with Stephen, right, without the V.
Yeah.
And there's also a Stephen with a V. But the way my surname is pronounced is still the same letters, but different usage of the first letter.
Yeah.
But I can just type it to you. I don't want to say it really.
I mean, you can say it, because I know I don't know how to pronounce it, so if you just say it, then it'd be good.
It would be like this. That's how it's spelled. But the way it is pronounced by other people, because I don't know how, or I don't know why they don't pronounce it as that letter first, it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
They pronounce it as that. I don't know why it is pronounced.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like butchered pronunciation, but yeah, we don't really care about that. Whenever our name is cool.
Gildo or Edo? Eldo.
It's a H. E.
So I see Gildo and what? Eldo? Is the H silent?
Yeah.
Okay, so Eldo.
Like that.
Okay. I mean, Eldo's pretty good, Just like Sue is, TSU. TSU is silent, so.
it's just a name that I carried around in the internet.
Okay.
Um,
So, what is I don't know, what's the pride of the surname that you like so much about it?
what was that?
What's the pride that you carry with the surname, like Irdo, you know? Like, what do you like about it? So it's very important to keep, like the aesthetic value.
It might sound like disrespect or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any special elements that I saw in my name.
Okay.
Some other people see something in their names. Like,
okay.
what is the favorite part of my name? How it came to be. But ever since recognizing my own surname, it doesn't really give anything. It's just my name that I carried every day.
Okay. So, what is the local traditions in the community that you guys do?
Well, yeah. Well, before, if back then there was still nothing. No activity since we don't actually we haven't really grasped what anime was before in the Philippines. So it was until I said anime because the activities that I saw from my in my school, it was always has anime in it. Like Philippine culture has like their own culture. They also do activities in in my in the area where my school is. Doing dances, doing how do you call that? Creating cultural clothes that they try, singing Philippine culture, music from mountainside and rural side, non culture stuff. But mostly I see here is anime gatherings, just like cosplay, anime events like freebies, merchandise. It's just a small group of people that they slowly grow in numbers. Like every activities that they do, they seemingly increases. Like more people are getting attached to the community.
Okay. And in the Eastern culture, the Philippines being part of Asia, what is some Asian culture that you guys take influence from but make it your own?
Although I don't really know much about that part, but I think the Philippines do took some parts of some culture in the Asian, making their own.
Okay.
But I haven't really seen, or I haven't really heard about that. Maybe they did, but
Okay.
I haven't really heard about that since.
Okay.
Even my school, where they still teach the Philippine culture and history. I haven't heard about that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they did say, but I didn't remember.
Yeah. Do you know any ways that Philippines compared to other Asian countries in demographics? Like, do you know any differences?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really failed.
Yeah.
I really failed that part as being
Yeah, you're fine.
as being the people of the Philippines.
So my question is this: what do you think is more influential, the Spanish tradition or Eastern culture in the Philippines? What do you think takes more precedence?
Yeah, I think it would be the Spanish influence because I think they are the longest that colonized Philippines, if my memory serves, which is not really a lot.
Okay.
I think they're the longest one to colonize Philippines. So they really tried. They really spread their influence inside the Philippines, introducing Christianity and that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're really strong at that part.
Oh, okay.
There were a lot of films that was shown to us by our Philippine culture teacher about the colonialization of Spanish. From the way we were dressed up before, so the way how we speak, they really changed a lot from it. And yeah, the American culture did give some influences, but not much as how Spanish changed when they colonized Philippines.
Okay. So is there like a major religion in the Philippines by any chance?
Yeah, the major religion, I think, in my opinion, only.
Yeah.
I think it would be Catholic. Yeah, I think that's the main one.
Mm-hmm.
The main religion of the Philippines, Catholic.
Catholic.
Then the rest of the religions, there's a lot of religions in the Philippines.
Uh-huh.
Catholic is number one, then others fall in different categories.
Okay, like subsets and all that other stuff.
Yeah, they're not really categories, but same as
Mm-hmm.
Catholic is number one. Then there are other religions, other religions throughout Philippines. They say that new religions came from Philippines before they go outside.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what other people said.
Okay, so like the Catholic, Protestant, and Islam, basically.
Yeah, those are like the main big ones.
Interesting. So it's really interesting. Catholicism and
that's
Protest.
that's the main one that the Spanish really integrated in the Philippines.
It's really interesting. And then the 10% is Protestantism. Yeah, Protestant Christianity. I don't know. Roman Catholicism is really interesting because it's really ingrained into European culture more, but it also makes sense with the Spanish colony that you guys would take it as a really your own in a way, because I guess at that time the organization of the Spanish colony and territory and gave you your own identity. I think that's what had happened.
Yeah, I think that's what. And similar to that extent as how Catholic became our own, became own religion of the Philippines. They really, adapted it since it was forced to them at the first place.
Oh, okay. So what's the writing like in the Philippines? Like, is it like specific symbols, or is it like similar to like a English alphabet? What's that like? Do you know?
And it's still the same as American, the ABC, the letter, the way we, speak Tagalog. It is still spelled as from A to, A to Z, but different, sentence structure than like other languages. They have different structure, and others use their own writing. But in Philippines, we mostly didn't use, the ABC.
Okay, so like
we do have our own kind of writing, which was used from the older times of the Philippines.
Yeah.
But not really today.
So like for example, like ba ka da a ga ha, stuff like that.
Like that.
Okay, so it's mostly like a mixture of English and Spanish, because what I got from like Aba, Se, Des, Fa, Ea, all that stuff, that's influence from the Spanish, but that's also making your own as well. So I see the Spanish influence, since that's what I know more about. I don't know, that's kind of interesting, kind of, because like you have like the Latin version, but then you also have their own alphabet, which is like A, B, C, D, E, F, D, Z, stuff like that. K, L, which is like the double L, and then N, which is the double N, and then N, yay, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
If my memory is right, I think the name of our own writing would be called Baybayin.
Yeah. So.
Which is like, it's like how Japan, Korea, China has their own writings, right?
Oh yeah.
Kind of looks like that too, but with our own how they made this line.
Yeah. Well, a lot of, Korean, Japanese, and Chinese, they're more like kanjis and radicals. Your writing is more like phonetic, like an actual letters, not just symbols.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. It looks phonetic.
Mm-hmm.
But no one really uses them anymore.
Oh, so they just use the modern English alphabet?
Papers and conversational, letters and something like that. No one really uses them anymore.
Gotcha.
Besides, the old people, who want to preserve the writing language.
Oh, okay. So, do you see yourself as religious, or what do you see yourself as?
And I don't see myself as religious, but I believe in I believe that I believe in God, but I'm not. I don't see myself as religious. Really.
Oh, okay. You what we call you believe there's a God, and you hold true
Yeah.
to that, but you're not like in doctrine or stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, like that. I fully respect the God,
Oh,
but
okay.
not really, religious.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of interesting with religion how people take perspective of it, and kind of funny how religion and scholars always debate on specific theories, facts versus theology, because theology is belief, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's like they
Like,
also,
yeah.
they really argue a lot about those matters, about what's real, or some other beliefs contradict with that. They really argue with that a lot. Like,
It's kind of weird how that, society takes it and views it. But I think with the Philippines being Roman Catholic or Catholicism, kind of separates you more from the Eastern culture and the Asian sphere a little bit more, because typically they do
yeah,
polytheistic religions, where Roman Catholic
yeah,
is like monotheistic. So, and it's kind of interesting because you guys are a direct result of European culture from the Western Hemisphere, while China and Japan and Korea, for example, rejected the idea of Western culture.
yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? Do you think it's made you Philippines very unique and better compared to the other Asian countries that kind of like try to reject Western culture and try to do their own?
No, for me, for my opinion only. I think they should have, rejected that the same as how they rejected the other influences. But you know, we can't really do anything about it since what happened.
Yeah.
Or it's just, or it might be other reasons that we can't because it's forced into us, forced into the Philippine people because it was colonized since the old days. So we can't really do anything like remove this since it has been living with us for a long time now.
True.
So it kind of it got slowly melded in the Philippine culture and got accepted as like their own.
True. I don't think it.
So I think that's the reason why they didn't want to remove it anymore.
True. Yeah, I think it's not necessarily force. I think it was like more assimilation. You assimilated to their customs, and over time, it became your own. It became its own identity for you guys. Because a lot of times, what the effects of colonization is they take more of the customs of the colonizer than the actual traditional Filipino or the traditional country's beliefs at the time. For example, India did modern reform. India did like reform when the English colonized them and radically changed in a different culture, like the caste system and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the introduction of that kind of like changed major aspects of the country and made it unified in a way.
Yeah, true. There's also, I think, before the Spanish colonized Philippines, Philippines do have their own culture already. I think it was just, they removed it. I think they tried to replace
Mm-hmm.
the culture, and in turn, it become the new culture that was implemented and
Yeah.
and lived with us to for many years since the Spanish colonization in Philippines really lasted very long.
Oh, okay. And also, I think
Yes.
the previous culture before the Spanish came in was mostly tribal, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So that's another thing with tribal. Usually, when you have a simple culture like a tribal system, typically when you have a colonizer, they have a bigger effect because their culture was like loosely interpreted. So it has a greater effect when you have territory and implement rule over someone else's land.
Yes.
So
I like that one. Oh yeah, I remember this part of the Philippine history is really really popular. Not really popular, but can never be forgotten. It's where Magellan, which is famous Spanish Spanish people, fought with Lapu-Lapu,
yeah,
which is a leader of a tribe in the Philippines.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I remember that one.
yeah, it wasn't. I think on the second voyage, Magellan was, I believe, killed from the Philippines.
Yeah, I think
Beheaded?
that's
I'm
how
not
it
sure.
was.
I think
I really
yeah,
forgot some of the parts of it.
I think he was like got into tribal beef. They perceived him as an invader or something, and they view him as a threat and just ended his life. And this was his second voyage to navigate the world. So
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I kind of forgot from Magellan in the Philippines. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. So
Yeah, I also heard about that. Yeah, the second. It was not the second one, which they fought with Lapu-Lapu and they died. But then Lapu-Lapu then was not reported dead. It was like missing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I think that's how the story works.
Yeah, I also remember Paparopo as well. It's like, yeah, I remember that name.
Yep, I remember that. They will never forget that.
Yeah, taking world history, you get different perspectives of different things, so I can't complain.
Then independence after the Americans colonized us and gave us our independence. Then the Philippine culture, which was kind of almost replaced by the Spanish influences, slowly rise up again. Since we are our own country now.
Yeah.
No more colonization. So slowly it began to revive the lost culture.
True. I also,
But
with the Spanish-American War, When the Spanish Armada lost against America during this time, Cuba, Guam, I believe, and Philippines were given to them. Guam's still a territory today. Cuba was actually more mad about the Cuban Revolution and stuff like that. So that's very hostile. But I think the Philippines, there was like a period of 10 years to like United States to like give them structure to rule themselves, and then it was always the belief to give them back their independence. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, I think some part of it.
Yeah. Because I think the Filipino feedback was not as severe as Cuba. Because the aftermath of Cuba territory for America was very hostile because they basically lost the control from the Spanish, but now we're under the Americans, which were even more tension involved. So, but anyway, let's we kind of covered the Filipino culture as a whole, your testimony, what you believe about it. Let's talk about the importing of anime into the country and go for the anime trends of the Philippines.
Alright.
So.
Oh yeah, sure. So, anime was not anime in the Philippines before. Anime was not, really, called as or recognized as anime before. Since back then, shows in the TV where there's news. Then after the news, they will premiere those cartoons from the American titles of cartoons. So G.I. Joe.
Oh, okay.
Other animes like I think I forgot some of those animes. Oh yeah, Transformers.
Oh yeah.
Especially how can I forget Looney Tunes?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those were the prominent ones back then. And then since the TV broadcasting corporations changes over time, and then I think when I had my unconscious, I recognized when I grew up, I was watching anime in local TV channel, and that was the first one that I really see that the difference between American cartoon shows and anime.
Yeah.
You can really see the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how it was animated and how the plot goes. There's this thing in the Philippines. The people of the Philippines really like drama. There's like every show in the Philippines really revolves around drama. And I think that before it was very hard to look for animes since it was only premiered weekends, I think. Yeah, every Saturday and some after the morning news.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
True.
that makes sense though.
And with the introduction to anime to you, what did that influence in your like for the medium?
So the introduction for animes for me, it was when, it was introduced to me, briefly, since I barely remember. You know, I barely watch. I watch a lot of animes and how do you call this? Uh, Japanese, Japanese action shows for kids. The Ultraman, that Ultraman, and some live actions
Yeah.
from Japan that was aired in the Philippines. I watched those when I was a kid, but it gave me excitement and such. But I think it was boosted when we started using cable TVs in our television. There was this channel in the Philippines that was called Hero TV back before today. Today, what it cannot be seen anymore since it stopped at I think 2015, no, 2015 and lower. Yeah, it was the only anime channel in the Philippines that time, in the cable TV. Uh, well, from other cable TVs, there's this, Animax, which is aired directly from Japan,
Yeah.
but we can't really see those before since we have different cable channels than the other ones.
True.
Since it's not the only cable channel in the Philippines, there are a lot of them.
True. There's a lot of them.
It got it got it boosted since now I can watch anime whenever I want on the TV. It really gives me excitement even more. That I can see different animes aired from from Japan. It's also dubbed in Filipino, which I understand, but I'm not really a fan of a Filipino dubbed anime, but that also works because I can understand it easily.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not really a fan of the dub version.
Okay, so do you know of any a Filipino original animations?
I think I think before I haven't known anything,
Mm-hmm.
but today but last year there was this anime. I don't know if the Philippines was the one who animated it. I think it was animated from other corporate other animating companies, but not the Philippines. Only the story from the Philippines. The anime called at Netflix. Anime called Trese.
Yeah. Trese? Did you say Trese? Okay. Interesting. And Trese is kind of interesting because I guess it's the original and it kind of influenced the anime community in that regard.
Yeah, that was really when I saw Trese,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really expect much since I don't really, I'm not really a fan of uh, Philippine animation works because some other,
Yeah.
even other people that watch, that used to watch Japan anime,
Mm.
they see other Filipino works as cringe
True.
in that aspect. But for me, seeing Trese, how it was animated, how many different Philippine references it had, because it was a story from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice. It was really nice, watching the trailer and how the characters were made and how they were represented. It was really fun watching it.
Oh, okay. So that I guess what the source material being the Filipino comic, and then translate it to an animated series, and kind of the hype behind that, kind of what excited you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Personally, I'm not I'm not really easily hyped up with anything related to Philippines. But seeing that how they did that, yeah, it gives me a hype.
Oh,
Even though
okay.
I don't really watch the whole entire episode in Netflix because Netflix is expensive here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I admired how they created that.
Oh, okay. So let's go into some of the shows you watched. So, Ghost Fighter. What do you like about Ghost Fighter? Which is
Damn.
also Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, Ghost Fighter. Yeah, I really like that one. When I was a kid, I like how he fires something in his hand pistol.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of that Ghost Fighter. I, I watched it, but not really the whole
Yeah.
entire season because it's not really it's not really usual for Filipino TVs
Yeah.
to air every single episode of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one that they really finished. It was very old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ghost Fighter. I would like to see he will shoot ray gun.
Yeah, true.
Like when I was a kid, I also does that a lot. Cringe kid stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
Ray gun.
Yeah.
That really gave me fun when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. And the interesting thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Hakusho, which Yu-Gi-Oh! Hakusho is the other name for the Ghost Fighter, but specifically in the Philippines, in the dubbing, it was known as Ghost Fighter, so the Philippines knew it as Ghost Fighter. So,
Yeah.
which, different, it comes back to when you serialize different TV shows, they go by different names based on the country and region where it's being played in as well. So,
Yeah.
distribution
And how
of that
they
kind of
translate
plays
the
a
name.
role. So, Full
Was
Metal
it
Alchemist. Full
Yeah.
Metal
Come
Alchemist.
again?
What do you like about Full Metal Alchemist?
Oh yeah, I like how I like the story of the two brothers and how it came to be that how their situation from regular two kids into one armored soul attached to the armor, and the other guy has like mechanical armor. What I like about Full Metal Alchemist is like one, the story, of course, and the different characters that they have. The seven deadly sins. I I really watch every part of how they interact with the main protagonist and how they represent their own sin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like I think anger was the old man with the sword.
Mhm.
Wait, that's Wrath, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
okay.
Wrath. Then there was the kid, there was the big guy who eats people.
Yeah.
That
Glutton.
was really fun.
The glutton
I didn't
sin.
really finish that though.
Oh, that's yeah. But like, the show is really popular and does a lot with the storyline and kind of keeps you intrigued. So I can see why you would like it and continue to like
It
it.
really keeps me
Yeah.
intrigued.
So, what about Detective Cohan?
Oh yeah, Detective Conan. I like how the detective stuff, how they solve mysteries and such.
Mhm.
It's very intriguing too that how Conan does his thing. Shoot the old shoot the old guy in the neck. Make him sleep and then talk in his teeth. And how every clue that they receive, how they pinpoint the main
Mhm.
criminal of the story. Even though it has pattern and how it goes, it never made me think of how it was how it was I think presented. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh,
It was
okay.
really fun. It was really fun in each episode,
Gotcha.
and I think Detective Conan is still not finished till today. I think.
Yeah. So, what do you think of Tu Oru Karaoke no Railgun?
Oh yeah, I think yeah, there that show is pretty good. Well, others might not even like it, but
Yeah.
I like the show. It's like how experts with different powers are ranked up from being the strongest to the weakest.
Yeah.
And then there's this guy, and there's this guy who's a zero level expert, with the left hand that can destroy, any, I think any power, any
Yeah.
magic that he touches, or any extra power that he touches, it will get destroyed. It
Oh,
will
yeah.
nullify.
I really
And
like
how
a
the
certain.
story,
Yeah.
how the story runs is really good too.
Yeah. I really like a certain scientific railgun. It is really well done. It's a good storyline. It's pretty self-contained. It's a good short anime that you can watch. So.
Yes, can be.
Mm-hmm.
And what's nice about that part is that they have each other characters also have their own and also have their own anime series, which is also related to Railgun,
Yep.
which index and accelerator. Yeah, that part, those parts, they exist in the main one, the first one that came out, the scientific railgun.
Yeah.
They also have their own adventures and how they solve the entire the universe around them. It's really cool.
Oh yeah. So with the anime trends continuing, what are like, in your opinion, the most popular anime right now in the Philippines or past years?
I think it would be One Piece. No
One
doubt.
Piece. Okay.
Yes. One Piece was like, yeah, it was aired at 2002, right? 2 years before. It was aired, and not 2 years, 4 years before Dragon Ball was introduced in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
But I think, yeah, I think they're on par with Dragon Ball. The most popular one in the Philippines now. Only in my opinion, though.
True. What's like top three? What's the third most popular, fourth most popular?
The third.
Yeah.
Back then when Boruto wasn't, didn't exist yet, I think it was Naruto.
Oh, okay.
The third one. I think those three. Oh wait, no, there's another one, Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
Bleach, Dragon Ball, and One Piece. They all of them really, overpassing the number one chart.
Oh, okay.
Yes, from this time it was Bleach. Then when Bleach ended or something like that, it was replaced by Dragon Ball or One Piece or Naruto when they were at their prime.
Oh, okay.
Which is, Naruto is not prime anymore since it's over back in the days.
True.
Then it was replaced with Boruto.
Oh, okay.
Other people don't really like that. They don't really like how Boruto is, made and how it was presented.
True.
Others still love it.
True.
But others, they still don't like it.
Yeah. So where?
One Piece, though, I think One Piece really made a consistent, popularity. I think in the Philippines.
Oh, okay. So, which streaming service or website do you use to watch some of your anime?
I just I'm allowed to say on that in other sites.
You can say it. It's not really a big deal.
Okay. Where I mostly watched my animes through Gogo Anime website.
Yeah.
And then Gogo Anime or animepahe.com, something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
But mostly on Gogo Anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. It makes sense because most of the so yeah, it makes sense most of the time like that, being the case. Even though the United States has some more anime legal streaming services, I have for a bit of time used like Kiss Anime, stuff like that. So, it is what it is. Sometimes if the region doesn't have everything you want or the access is kind of limited, that's kind of what happens. So, it's really difficult to have a legal streaming service because of that in some areas. So, I mean, even though I guess the term is pirated and all this other stuff, it's not. Philippines is one of those countries I found out there is a lot of pirated, but
Yep.
I don't think it really hugely negatively impacts it because the region has limited access. So it's a give and take with it,
Yeah, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
Though there are other people who who got punished by pirating something from Japan.
Oh yeah.
Almost banned the anime.
So.
But I only heard that. I just head towards the headlines, but not really delve into how it came to be. But yeah, depending on the situation, if you know what you're doing, it's not really a big deal. If no one knows,
True.
It's from the line from some games, quote unquote, from other games.
Yeah.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
True.
Quote unquote.
And this wraps up this particular episode about Asian studies, Philippines, and the anime trends. Sue, thank you so much for being here and sharing, what the Philippines means to you, some of the culture with it, the history, and also overall the anime trends that is developed in your country.
And thank you as well for accepting to your podcast. Even though my answers are not really, consistent, or sometimes that doesn't really make sense. All of my answers are, from my own opinion.
Yeah.
From other Filipinos that watch this.
Oh yeah.
Listen, my opinion, okay?
Yeah.
They might, cancel for they might cancel.
Oh yeah, just like you took a collective of answers from different people and different sources, the MC Anime Podcast is a collective of people who listen to it. And for those who are collective that listen to it, you can listen to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. You can support us on the mcanimepodcast.com and go to blog MC Anime on Patreon for the MC Animator community and be part of the original messages, polls, original context, anime lists, and everything else that is available on the different tiers. Sue, thank you so much for being here. And guys, see you later.
Likewise.
Bye.
This concludes another episode of MC Anime Podcast. MC Anime Podcast is available on podcast directories like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. We also have our website at mcanimepodcast.com. If you want to directly support us, then follow Patreon blog MC Anime. Finally, if you want services for hire, then we're available on Fiverr for audio and video production, graphic design, idea consulting, and blog and article writing.